Welcome to the channel, where today we're diving into a mystery so tantalizing, so jaw-dropping, it might just make you run to check your pocket change right now. Could a single 1965 quarter dollar, a coin you might have tossed into a vending machine without a second thought, actually be worth a staggering $123 million? What if a tiny, overlooked mistake at the US Mint transformed this humble piece of change into the most valuable coin ever struck, a numismatic legend whispered about in hushed tones by collectors who'd sell their souls to own it? Buckle up, because we're about to unravel the electrifying saga of the 1965 quarter, a coin born in a moment of chaos, controversy, and cosmic error, where history, greed, and obsession collide in a tale so wild it'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about money. Picture this, it's 1965, and America is in the grip of a coin crisis so severe it's shaking the very foundation of the economy. Silver prices are skyrocketing, people are hoarding every dime, quarter, and half dollar made of 90% silver, and banks are running dry as coins vanish from circulation faster than you can say change. The US Mint, under pressure from President Lyndon B. Johnson and the Coinage Act of 1965, makes a seismic decision: no more silver in quarters or dimes, just a new copper-nickel-clad alloy to cut costs and keep coins in people's hands. But here's where the story takes its first dark twist. This transition wasn't seamless. Oh no, it was a chaotic mess, a perfect storm of human error, mechanical mishaps, and government oversight that birthed a coin so rare, so extraordinary, it defies belief. Imagine a mint worker, overworked and under pressure, accidentally feeding a leftover 1964 silver planchet, a disc of 90% pure silver, into a press meant for the new clad coins, and out pops a 1965 quarter that shouldn't exist, a shimmering silver anomaly in a sea of dull copper-nickel imposters, a mistake so rare that only a handful are rumored to have survived, each one a ticking time bomb of value waiting to be discovered. These silver transitional errors, as collectors call them, are the holy grail of numismatics, and one such 1965 quarter, graded MS62 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, sold in 2020 for a mind-blowing $16,800, but whispers in the numismatic underworld suggest another, in pristine condition, could fetch $123 million at auction. Why? Because it's not just a coin, it's a relic of a pivotal moment in American history, a tangible piece of a government slip-up that changed currency forever, and collectors, those obsessive treasure hunters, will stop at nothing to claim it. But the plot thickens. There's more to this quarter's value than just its silver content. Let's talk about the minting errors that make your heart race, like the double die obverse, where the words, "In God We Trust," or George Washington's profile appear eerily duplicated, a ghostly effect from a misaligned die that can turn a 25-cent coin into a $500 treasure, or the off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank and collectors salivating, some fetching hundreds at auction. Then there's the double tail error, a freakish anomaly where both sides of the coin show the eagle reverse, a mistake so bizarre only three are known to exist, with two selling for $41,000 and $80,000, and the third rumored to be hidden in a private collection, its whereabouts a closely guarded secret that fuels wild speculation. Could it be the one worth $123 million? Let's rewind to the 1960s, a time of upheaval, with the Vietnam War raging, civil rights battles in the streets, and the mint scrambling to keep up with demand. They churned out over 1.8 billion 1965 quarters at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint marks to be found because the government, in a desperate bid to stop hoarding, banned them from 1965 to 1967, making every coin a potential enigma. Most of these quarters are worth just their face value, 25 cents, maybe a dollar or two in uncirculated condition, but the rare errors, the silver planchets, the double dies, the off-center strikes, are like needles in a haystack, and finding one is like winning the lottery, only better, because this lottery ticket fits in your pocket. Picture a collector in 2015, rummaging through a jar of old coins at a flea market, heart pounding as they spot a 1965 quarter that looks too shiny, too bright. Could it be silver? They rush home, weigh it on a scale, and at 6.25 grams, it's heavier than the standard 5.67 gram clad quarter, a silver planchet error confirmed, and suddenly they're holding a fortune, a story so thrilling it's been retold at coin shows from coast to coast. But here's where the mystery deepens. Nobody knows exactly how many silver 1965 quarters exist. Some say a dozen, others whisper of only 2 or 3, and the mint's records are maddeningly silent, leaving collectors to speculate, to hunt, to dream of the day they'll stumble across one in a cash register or a forgotten piggy bank. The numismatic community is buzzing with theories. Did the mint deliberately let a few silver planchets slip through to test the new clad presses, or was it pure accident, a moment of carelessness in the chaos of 1965? Some even claim the government destroyed most of these errors to cover up their mistake, but a few escaped, hidden in circulation, waiting for a sharp-eyed collector to claim them. Let's talk about the special mint sets, another twist in this saga. The mint, unable to produce proof coins due to the coin shortage, offered these hybrid sets in 1965, containing a quarter, dime, nickel, cent, and half dollar, all with a satin finish that screams collector's item. And while most are worth just $1 or $2, a rare few in pristine SP70 condition have sold for thousands, adding fuel to the fire of the 1965 quarter's allure. Now, imagine a shadowy figure at a 2023 auction, bidding millions on a rumored 1965 silver quarter, their identity cloaked, their motives unknown. Could they be a billionaire investor, a museum curator, or a collector chasing a lifelong obsession? The numismatic world is rife with such stories, like the 2018 discovery of a 1965 quarter struck on a dime planchet, a coin so small and strange it sold for $7,000, or the 2021 auction where an off-center 1965 quarter fetched $1,200, each sale sending shockwaves through the community, proving that these coins are out there, hiding, waiting. But why $123 million? Experts point to the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and historical significance. A silver 1965 quarter in gem uncirculated condition, with no wear, no scratches, and a provenance that traces back to the mint's error-filled days, could rewrite auction records, surpassing even the 1933 Double Eagle's $18.9 million sale in 2021, because unlike that coin, the 1965 quarter represents a modern mistake, a glitch in the system that's relatable, tangible, and still circulating. The emotional pull is undeniable. Every time you hold a 1965 quarter, you're touching a piece of history, a moment when America's currency changed forever, and the thought that it could be worth millions sends a shiver down your spine. Collectors share stories of late-night searches through coin rolls, of grandparents' attics yielding dusty jars filled with potential treasures, of chance encounters at estate sales where a single quarter changed someone's life. One collector, a retired teacher from Ohio, found a silver 1965 quarter in 2019, authenticated it with ncaa, and sold it for $12,000, enough to fund a dream vacation, but he still wonders if he let go of the $123 million coin. The stakes are high, the mystery is real, and the hunt is on. Numismatists use loupes, scales, and even magnets to identify silver quarters, since silver isn't magnetic, unlike the copper-nickel-clad coins, and every test is a heart-pounding gamble. What if the $123 million quarter is still out there, sitting in a coffee can, a glove compartment, or a child's coin collection? The Coinage Act of 1965 didn't just change the metal, it changed the game, creating a legacy of errors that turned ordinary quarters into extraordinary treasures, and the numismatic obsession grows with every new discovery, every auction record, every whispered rumor of a lost silver quarter. Some say the government knows more than it's letting on, that classified mint reports detail exactly how many errors escaped, but collectors don't care. They're driven by the thrill of the chase, the possibility that the next coin they touch could be the one. Imagine the scene, a dimly lit coin show, dealers trading stories of the big one, the 1965 silver quarter that could break all records, while a newbie collector, clutching a worn 1965 quarter, wonders if it's the key to their fortune. The tension is palpable, the stakes are astronomical, and the question lingers, could you be holding the most valuable coin ever struck? Every 1965 quarter is a potential clue, a piece of a puzzle that spans decades, from the mint's chaotic transition to the modern-day hunt for numismatic gold, and with each passing year, the legend grows, fueled by stories of life-changing finds, government cover-ups, and the eternal hope that somewhere, somehow, that $123 million quarter is waiting to be found, ready to rewrite history and make someone's wildest dreams come true. So check your change, weigh your quarters, and join the hunt. Because the next coin you touch could be the one that changes everything. Next, imagine pulling a quarter from your pocket, just a simple 25-cent piece, and discovering it's worth $190 million, a fortune so staggering it could rewrite your life. But what if this single coin, the 1980 Washington quarter, holds secrets so rare, so extraordinary, that it's become the holy grail of numismatics, a treasure whispered about in collector circles like a legend too wild to be true? Could a tiny minting mistake really transform pocket change into a multi-million-dollar mystery? Or is there something deeper, darker, hidden in its story? Let's dive into the electrifying saga of the 1980 quarter, a coin born in the crucible of a chaotic year at the Philadelphia Mint, where a seismic shift in U.S. coinage history set the stage for one of the most jaw-dropping numismatic tales ever told. Picture 1980, the U.S. Mint, grappling with rising metal costs and a nation recovering from economic turmoil, decides to mark a new era by stamping a P mint mark on Philadelphia coins for the first time in its 188-year history, a decision that seems mundane but sparks a chain of events so bizarre it's like something out of a heist thriller. Could this small letter, barely noticeable behind George Washington's ponytail, be the key to unlocking a fortune? The 1980 P quarter, clad in copper nickel with a copper core, was struck in staggering numbers. Over 635 million coins poured into circulation, flooding banks, vending machines, and pockets across America. But among this sea of ordinary quarters, a handful emerged with anomalies so rare, so inexplicable, that they've driven collectors to obsession, auction houses to frenzy, and theorists to wild speculation about government cover-ups and lost treasures. Let's start with the minting errors. Oh, these aren't your run-of-the-mill off-center strikes or double dies, though those exist and can fetch thousands. No, the 1980 P quarters that command $190 million are rumored to possess errors so unique they defy belief, like a fabled ghost strike where the coin was struck on a planchet meant for another denomination, perhaps a dime or even a foreign coin, creating a hybrid so rare it's said only one or two exist in the entire world. Can you imagine holding a quarter that's the wrong size, the wrong weight, with a faint, ghostly imprint of another coin's design, a mistake so monumental it slipped through the mint's quality control like a phantom? Numismatists whisper of a 1980 P quarter struck on a silver planchet, a remnant from the pre-1965 era when quarters were 90% silver, a coin that shouldn't exist but somehow did, its shimmering surface a time capsule from a bygone era, valued not just for its metal but for its impossibility. Could such a coin, if real, have been smuggled out of the mint by a rogue employee? Or was it an accident buried in the chaos of a hectic production year? The stakes climb higher when you consider the production anomalies of 1980, a year when the mint was under pressure to churn out coins at breakneck speed, leading to whispers of experimental planchets, secret test strikes, and even rumors of coins struck on classified alloys never meant for public eyes. Some collectors swear a 1980 P quarter was discovered with a metallic composition unlike any other, possibly a prototype for a new coinage system that was scrapped, its existence erased from official records but not before a single specimen escaped into the wild, sparking a treasure hunt that's lasted decades. The rarity of these anomalies is mind-boggling. While millions of 1980 P quarters are worth their face value of 25 cents, a coin graded MS67 by PCGS, a pristine uncirculated gem, might fetch $340, but the $190 million valuation comes from a singular specimen, a coin so elusive it's known only by code names in numismatic circles, like the Phantom or the Lost Liberty, a quarter with an error so profound it's said to rewrite the rules of coin collecting. Could it be a double denomination, a quarter struck over a previously minted coin, blending Washington's profile with, say, a Susan B. Anthony dollar, creating a numismatic Frankenstein that collectors would kill to own? The historical context only deepens the mystery. 1980 was a pivotal year, with the U.S. Mint transitioning from silver to clad coinage fully realized, yet whispers persist of a secret stash of silver quarters held back, perhaps for government officials or as part of a classified experiment. Could one of these have been accidentally released, only to be discovered years later in a dusty coin roll by a sharp-eyed collector? The numismatic obsession with the 1980 P quarter is fueled by stories like that of John Seychow, a legendary California collector whose passion for rare coins uncovered a 1980 P with a double die so pronounced it made headlines, fetching $75,000 at auction, but even that pales in comparison to the $190 million coin, a specimen rumored to have been found in a small-town bank vault, its origin shrouded in secrecy. Did it come from a mint employee's private collection, or was it part of a heist? That's never been fully explained. The collector community is ablaze with tales of near misses and shocking discoveries, like the story of a Pennsylvania woman who found a 1980 P quarter in her late father's coin jar, only to learn it was struck on a nickel planchet, a mistake so rare it sold for $200,000 at a heritage auctions event, sparking rumors that even rarer specimens were still out there, waiting to be found. Could you be holding one right now, unaware that the change in your pocket is a ticket to millions? Experts like those at PCGS and NGC weigh in, cautioning that such high valuations require impeccable provenance, yet they admit the 1980 PS potential for blockbuster errors, with one NGC grader hinting at a coin so unique it was locked away in a private vault, its details known only to a select few. Could it be a 1980 P struck with a proof die, a coin meant for collectors but accidentally released into circulation, its mirror-like finish and razor-sharp details making it a one-of-a-kind masterpiece? The government's role in this saga adds another layer of intrigue. Rumors swirl of mint officials suppressing information about these errors to avoid public panic or to cover up costly mistakes, with some theorists claiming the $190 million quarter was part of a batch destroyed by the mint, except for one coin that slipped through, its existence a thorn in the side of bureaucrats who'd rather it stay buried. The collector stories are the heart of this mystery, like the tale of a retired schoolteacher who bought a 1980 quarter at a flea market for 25 cents, only to discover it had a clipped planchet and a faint double strike, selling it for $50,000, or the urban legend of a coin shop owner who refused to sell a mysterious 1980 to a billionaire collector, claiming it was too dangerous to let go. Dangerous how, you ask? Some say it's tied to a larger conspiracy, perhaps involving organized crime or a government sting operation gone wrong, where rare coins were used to launder money, a theory that gains traction when you consider the astronomical $190 million price tag. Could a single quarter really hold such explosive secrets? The tension builds as we explore recent discoveries, like a 2023 find in Ohio where a coin roll from a local bank revealed a 1980 with an off-center strike so dramatic it left half the coin blank, fetching $10,000 at auction. A mere fraction of the fabled $190 million coin, but enough to send collectors into a frenzy, scouring every roll, every jar, every vending machine return slot for a similar miracle. The numismatic world is no stranger to wild valuations. Take the 1933 Double Eagle, sold for $18.9 million, or the 1794 flowing hair silver dollar at $10 million, but the 1980 quarter's rumored $190 million price dwarfs them all, driven by its rarity, its errors, and the sheer audacity of its story. Could it be that this coin's value isn't just in its metal or its mistakes, but in what it represents, a fleeting, impossible glitch in the system, a moment where human error and chance collided to create something priceless? The hunt for this coin is a roller coaster of hope and heartbreak, with collectors spending lifetimes chasing leads, from estate sales to forgotten safety deposit boxes, each hoping to uncover the 1980 that could make them a legend. Imagine the thrill of finding it, the weight of history in your hand, knowing you hold a piece of Americana so rare it might never be seen again. The suspense is unbearable. Is the $190 million quarter real, or is it a myth, a numismatic Loch Ness monster that keeps collectors awake at night, dreaming of the day they'll find it in a coin roll or a forgotten drawer? The evidence is tantalizing. Auction records show 1980 quarters with minor errors selling for tens of thousands, but the $190 million coin remains elusive, its existence hinted at in hushed conversations at coin shows, in cryptic posts on numismatic forums, and in the fevered dreams of collectors who believe it's out there, waiting to be found. The emotional pull is undeniable. Every 1980 quarter you see now feels like a potential jackpot, a tiny metal disc that could hold the key to unimaginable wealth. Will you check your change tonight, peering at that mint mark, wondering if it's the one? The mystery of the 1980 quarter isn't just about money, it's about the human drive to find the impossible, to uncover a secret hidden in plain sight, to hold a piece of history that tells a story of mistakes, ambition, and the tantalizing possibility that the next coin you touch could change everything. Check your pockets, because the next 1980 quarter you find might just be the one that rewrites your future. Next, could a single quarter in your pocket be worth hundreds of millions, a tiny piece of metal so rare it could rewrite your life story, or is it just another forgotten coin jingling in the bottom of your wallet? Imagine this, it's 1968, a year of chaos, rebellion, and secrets, and in the heart of the US Mint, a catastrophic mistake slips through the cracks, creating a quarter so extraordinary it becomes the holy grail of numismatics, valued today at a staggering $200 million. Yes, you heard that right, a quarter worth more than a private island, a fleet of supercars, or a penthouse in the sky. But what makes this coin so insanely valuable, and why are collectors losing their minds to find it? Let's dive into the mystery of the 1968 quarter dollar, a coin born from a perfect storm of minting errors, government blunders, and a legend that's been whispered about for decades, pulling you into a world where a single misstep in a Philadelphia minting room could turn pocket change into a fortune that could outshine the wealth of kings. Picture the scene. It's the late 1960s, the US is reeling from war protests, assassinations, and cultural upheaval, and the mint is under pressure to churn out billions of coins to keep the economy humming. But in their rush, a technician makes a colossal error, striking a handful of quarters on a silver planchet meant for an earlier era, a forbidden relic from a time when coins were made of precious metal, not the copper-nickel clad we know today, and this mistake creates a coin so rare it's like finding a unicorn in a haystack. These 1968 silver quarters, known as transitional errors, are not supposed to exist. Officially, the mint had switched to clad coins by 1965, but somehow, a few silver blanks slipped through, and when they were struck with the 1968 design, they became instant anomalies, each one a defiant middle finger to the mint's strict protocols, a glitch in the system that no one caught until it was too late. Now, you might be thinking, how does a simple metal mix-up make a coin worth $200 million, and what's the big deal about a quarter that looks like any other? Here's where the story gets wild. Only a handful of these silver 1968 quarters are known to exist, with estimates suggesting fewer than a dozen survived the mint's quality control, and even fewer made it into circulation, meaning most were likely melted down in a frantic government cover-up to hide the blunder, but those that escaped became the stuff of legend. Hunted by collectors with a fervor that borders on obsession, their value skyrocketing with every passing year as the coins vanish into private vaults or get lost in the chaos of time. Let's crank up the suspense. Imagine a janitor at the mint in 1968, sweeping the floors late at night, finding a strange, shiny quarter that doesn't quite look right, slipping it into his pocket without a second thought, unaware he's holding a treasure that could one day buy a skyscraper. What happened to that coin, and could it still be out there, hiding in a jar of change or a forgotten drawer? The rarity of the 1968 silver quarter isn't just about the metal, it's about the perfect storm of errors that piled onto this coin like a cosmic accident. Some of these quarters were also struck with a double die error, meaning the design was stamped twice, slightly off-center, creating a ghostly, doubled image of Washington's face that makes numismatists weak at the knees. And if that wasn't enough, a few were struck on experimental planchets, alloys the mint was secretly testing, making them not just rare but utterly unique, like a one-of-a-kind masterpiece painted by a machine. The stakes get higher when you realize the mint never admitted to these errors publicly, fueling wild theories that the government intentionally let a few slip out to test the public's reaction, or worse, that insiders smuggled them out to cash in on the black market, and these conspiracies only deepen the coin's mystique, turning it into a symbol of rebellion against a system that tried to erase its existence. Now, let's talk about the collectors, the shadowy figures who've spent lifetimes chasing this coin. People like the eccentric billionaire who reportedly turned down $150 million for his 1968 silver quarter because he believes it's cursed, or the small-town teacher who found one in a laundromat change machine in 1972, only to have it stolen in a mysterious break-in weeks later, a theft that some whisper was orchestrated by a jealous rival collector who knew its true value. The numismatic world is a jungle of passion and paranoia, where stories of the 1968 quarter are swapped like ghost tales around a campfire. One collector claims he saw a pristine example at a secret auction in Zurich, only for it to vanish before the gavel fell, while another swears he traced a coin to a retired mint employee who hid it in a safety deposit box, only to die without revealing its location, leaving behind a trail of cryptic clues that still haunt treasure hunters today. The value of this quarter isn't just in its silver or its errors, it's in the stories it carries, each one a thread in a tapestry of greed, luck, and obsession, pulling you deeper into a mystery that feels like it's straight out of a heist movie. Let's twist the knife. What if the $200 million price tag isn't just hype but a conservative estimate, and what if the real value lies in what this coin represents, a defiance of fate, a middle finger to the system, a tiny piece of history that refused to be erased? Experts in numismatics, like the grizzled appraiser who spent 40 years studying mint errors, will tell you that the 1968 quarter's value comes from its condition rarity, meaning a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition could fetch far more than $200 million if it ever hit the open market. But here's the kicker: no one knows exactly how many are out there, and every few years, a new one surfaces like a ghost, shaking the collecting world to its core, like the 2019 discovery of a 1968 silver quarter in a Midwest estate sale, bought for 25 cents by a clueless retiree who nearly spent it on a vending machine before a sharp-eyed dealer spotted its telltale sheen. That coin sold at auction for $85 million, but whispers in the numismatic underground say it was a lesser example, and the true king of 1968 quarters, a perfect, double-die, silver specimen with a mysterious provenance, remains locked away in a private collection, its owner refusing to sell until the price hits $250 million, or maybe never, because to them, owning it is like holding a piece of the moon. The drama doesn't stop there. Consider the historical context. The 1968 quarter was minted in a year when the US was phasing out silver coins entirely, a move driven by rising silver prices and a government desperate to cut costs. But this transition was messy, with rumors of mint workers hoarding silver blanks or striking illegal coins for profit. And some even believe the 1968 silver quarters were a deliberate act of sabotage by disgruntled employees who wanted to stick it to the man, creating a coin that would haunt the mint for decades. The more you dig, the crazier it gets. There's a story of a 1968 quarter found in a Las Vegas casino, passed from gambler to gambler until it landed in the hands of a mob-connected coin dealer who used it to settle a debt, only for the coin to disappear during a federal raid, leaving behind nothing but rumors and a blurry Polaroid that still circulates in collector forums, driving enthusiasts to the brink of madness. What's the truth behind these stories, and why does this coin have the power to turn ordinary people into treasure hunters, willing to risk everything for a shot at glory? Let's raise the stakes even higher. Imagine you're at a flea market, sifting through a box of loose change, and you spot a 1968 quarter that feels just a little heavier, its shine a little too bright. Could it be the one, the mythical silver era that could change your life forever, or is it just another false hope in a sea of ordinary coins? The numismatic world is littered with tales of near misses, like the woman who sold her grandfather's coin collection for $50, only to learn years later it contained a 1968 silver quarter now worth millions, or the kid who traded his for a comic book in 1970, not knowing he'd just given away a fortune. And these stories hit you in the gut because they remind you how close any of us could be to stumbling on greatness, yet how easily it slips away. The 1968 quarter's value isn't just in its metal or its rarity, it's in the human drama it inspires, the dreams it ignites, the questions it leaves unanswered, like where are the missing coins, and why do they keep popping up in the most unlikely places, from a pawn shop in Reno to a church donation plate in Ohio. Some say the mint knows more than it's letting on, that there's a secret ledger locked away in Washington, D.C., detailing every error coin that escaped, but the government's silence only fuels the fire, making collectors wonder if there's a conspiracy to keep these coins out of the public eye, or if the truth is simpler, a sloppy mistake that snowballed into a legend. Let's keep pushing. The 1968 quarter isn't just a coin, it's a time capsule, a snapshot of a turbulent era when the world was changing, and a tiny piece of silver became a symbol of everything that could go wrong, and right, in the blink of an eye. And when you hold one, you're holding a piece of history that's been chased, stolen, lost, and found, a coin that's seen more drama than a Hollywood blockbuster. The numismatic community is buzzing with theories about what makes this coin so special. Some point to its flawless strike, others to its chemical composition, confirmed by X-ray spectrometry to be 90% silver, a throwback to a bygone era, while others swear it's the human stories that drive its value, like. Next, could a single quarter in your pocket be worth hundreds of millions, hiding in plain sight among your loose change, whispering a secret that could rewrite your destiny? What if a tiny mistake, a fleeting oversight at the U.S. Mint in 1995, created the most valuable coin ever struck, a 1995 quarter dollar now valued at an astonishing $201 million, a numismatic enigma that has collectors, historians, and treasure hunters obsessed, chasing a mystery that defies logic and fuels dreams of unimaginable wealth. Imagine this, it's 1995, and the Philadelphia Mint is churning out over 1 billion quarters, each one a humble 25-cent piece, unremarkable to the untrained eye, featuring George Washington's stoic profile on the obverse and the proud eagle on the reverse, a design etched into America's psyche since 1932, but something goes terribly, gloriously wrong, a mistake so rare, so extraordinary, that it transforms an ordinary coin into a holy grail of numismatics, a relic that could make a pauper a king. Let's dive into the heart of this mystery, where the stakes are sky high, and every detail pulls you deeper into a tale of government slip-ups, lost treasures, and jaw-dropping discoveries that will leave you questioning every coin you've ever held. The 1995 quarter, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, was part of a massive production run of 1,004,336,000 coins, a number so vast it seems impossible that anything could stand out, yet among these billions lies a handful of anomalies so rare they've sparked a frenzy in the numismatic world, coins that slip through the mint's rigorous checks, carrying errors that make them worth more than entire economies. Picture the scene, it's the mid-1990s, and the U.S. Mint is under pressure to meet the demands of a booming economy, workers racing against time, machines humming at breakneck speed, and in this chaos, a few planchets, those blank metal discs that become coins, go rogue, struck with errors that no one notices until years later, errors that turn a 25-cent piece into a $201 million masterpiece. One such error, whispered about in hushed tones among collectors, is the elusive 1995 double-die obverse, where the coin's design is struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a ghostly doubling of George Washington's portrait, the date, and the motto, "In God We Trust," a flaw so subtle you'd need a magnifying glass to spot it, yet so profound it sends auction prices into the stratosphere. But how does a simple misalignment become worth $201 million? The answer lies in rarity. Fewer than a dozen of these double-die quarters are known to exist, each one a needle in a haystack, a cosmic accident that escaped the mint's quality control and vanished into circulation, waiting to be found by someone with the foresight to look closer. Now, let's crank up the suspense. What if the true value of this quarter isn't just in its error but in a wild theory that's been circulating in numismatic circles, a tale that sounds like it was ripped from a Hollywood thriller? Some experts speculate that one 1995 P quarter was struck on a silver planchet, a leftover from the pre-1965 era when quarters were 90% silver, a mistake that should have been impossible in the modern era of copper-nickel-clad coins, yet whispers persist of a single silver quarter, gleaming with a forbidden luster. Discovered in a Pennsylvania vending machine in 1997, its weight, 6.25 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams, betraying its secret, a coin so rare it's been dubbed the Phantom Silver. A numismatic unicorn that collectors would kill to possess. Could this be the $201 million quarter? The plot thickens when you consider the historical context. In 1995, the U.S. Mint was experimenting with new technologies, transitioning to automated processes, but human error and outdated equipment led to a series of production anomalies, not just double dies but off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, leaving part of the coin blank, or even wrong planchet errors, where a quarter was struck on a dime or nickel blank, creating a coin that's the wrong size, the wrong weight, and the wrong everything, yet somehow perfect in its imperfection. These errors weren't supposed to happen. Modern minting is a marvel of precision, with steel dies stamping coins in a single blow, yet the 1995 P quarter slipped through the cracks, a testament to the chaos that can lurk beneath even the most controlled systems. Let's pull you deeper into the mystery. Imagine a collector in 2003, a quiet retiree named Harold from Ohio, sifting through a roll of quarters from his local bank, his heart stopping as he spots a 1995 P with a faint doubling on the obverse, a coin he sends to the professional coin grading service, where it's graded MS 68, near perfection, and later sold at auction for $3.6 million, a staggering sum that sparks a nationwide hunt for more, turning every piggy bank and cash register into a potential goldmine. But Harold's story is just the beginning. Rumors swirl of a second 1995 P quarter, discovered in a Las Vegas casino in 2011, this one with a catastrophic off-center strike, 60% of the design missing, yet authenticated as a genuine mint error, fetching $10 million at a private sale, its buyer a mysterious billionaire who vanished into the shadows, fueling speculation that the coin's true value lies in something more than its error, perhaps a connection to a classified government experiment or a lost mint prototype. The intrigue doesn't stop there. Numismatic experts, like the legendary John Seychow, a California-based collector whose name is synonymous with RareCoins, have spent decades chasing the 1995 PS secrets, piecing together clues from mint records, auction catalogs, and whispered anecdotes, suggesting that the $201 million valuation stems from a single coin, known only as the Anomaly, a 1995 P quarter with a combination of errors, double die obverse, off-center strike, and a rumored silver composition that makes it a one-of-a-kind artifact, a coin so perfect in its flaws that it's become a legend, its whereabouts unknown, possibly locked in a vault or still circulating, waiting for an unsuspecting cashier to hand it over in change. The stakes climb higher as we explore the government's role. In 1995, the U.S. Mint was under scrutiny for cost-cutting measures, leading to shortcuts that allowed these errors to slip through, but some conspiracy theorists claim the Mint deliberately released a few test coins to gauge public reaction, only to lose track of them, creating a treasure hunt that's lasted decades. Picture this, a coin that shouldn't exist, a silver quarter from an era when silver was banned from circulation, slipping into a world that didn't know its worth, passed from hand to hand, from a grocery store in Philly to a laundromat in Chicago, each transaction a step closer to discovery or oblivion. The emotional weight of this mystery hits hard. Imagine being the one to find it, to hold $201 million in your palm, a quarter that could change your life, your family's life, your entire legacy, yet the fear of overlooking it, of spending it on a soda, keeps you up at night, checking every coin, every pocket, every drawer. Collectors live for this thrill, the adrenaline of the hunt, and the 1995 P quarter has become their white whale, a symbol of hope, obsession, and the tantalizing possibility that fortune is just one coin away. But let's twist the knife. What if the $201 million valuation is a myth, a numismatic urban legend born from a viral internet post, like the debunked $2.5 billion bicentennial quarter, yet backed by enough evidence to keep the dream alive? Auction records show lesser 1995 P errors selling for millions, like the MS 68 double die at $3.6 million, and the off-center strike at $10 million, so why couldn't a perfect storm of errors, a triple anomaly, reach $201 million? Experts like those at PCGS and NGC, the gold standards of coin grading, confirm that such a coin could exist, its value driven by its singularity, its story, and the insatiable demand of collectors who'd mortgage their homes for a chance to own it. The 1995 P-Quarters legend grows with every tale. A New York taxi driver in 2015 reportedly found one in his tip jar, only to lose it in a poker game, unaware of its worth. A Texas grandmother in 2019 donated a jar of coins to charity, later discovered to contain a $1.2 million 1995 P error, sparking a legal battle that's still unresolved. These stories aren't just anecdotes, they're warnings, urging you to look closer, to question every quarter, because the next one could be the one. The numismatic world is a battleground of hope and heartbreak, where a single coin can rewrite history, and the 1995 P-Quarter stands at its apex, a mystery wrapped in copper and nickel, or perhaps silver, a coin that defies the odds, defies reason, and defies the very system that created it. As we spiral deeper, consider the science behind these errors. A double die happens when the die shifts between strikes, a millisecond of chaos that etches a shadow image onto the coin, while an off-center strike occurs when the planchet slips, leaving part of the coin blank, a silent scream of imperfection. A wrong planchet error, like the fabled silver quarter, is a ghost from the past, a planchet meant for another era, struck by mistake in 1995, its silver content a forbidden treasure in a world of clad coins. The Mint's own records, declassified in 2010, hint at a batch of experimental planchets tested in Philadelphia, possibly explaining the phantom silver, but the records are incomplete, pages missing, fueling speculation of a cover-up, a secret the government doesn't want you to know. The emotional pull of this coin is undeniable. It's not just about money, it's about legacy, about the thrill of discovery, about holding a piece of history that no one else has, a coin that tells a story of human error, technological failure, and the relentless pursuit of perfection. Collectors like Seychow speak of the 1995 P in reverent tones, comparing it to the 1913 Liberty Head nickel, worth $4.5 million, or the 1933 Double Eagle, worth $18.9 million, yet the 1995 PS $201 million valuation eclipses them all, driven by its modern rarity, its improbable existence, and the feverish demand of a new generation of collectors who see it as the ultimate prize. The twists keep coming. In 2023, a numismatic forum exploded with claims of a 1995 P-Quarter found in a California parking lot, graded MS-69 by NGC, with a triple error, double die, off-center, and silver composition, rumored to be the $201 million coin, but the owner disappeared before it could be auctioned, leaving behind only grainy photos and a trail of speculation. Was it a hoax? A publicity stunt? Or did the owner realize the danger of possessing such a treasure, fearing theft, forgery, or worse? The numismatic community is divided, with some calling it the greatest find since the 1943 copper penny, worth $1.7 million, while others dismiss it as clickbait, yet the photos, showing a coin with a shimmering silver edge and a misaligned Washington, keep the debate alive, drawing in new collectors, new dreamers, new obsessives. The 1995 P-Quarter's value isn't just in its metal or its errors, it's in the stories it inspires, the lives it changes, the questions it raises. How many more are out there, hidden in circulation, waiting to be found? Could you be the one to find the next one, to hold $201 million in your hand, to rewrite your future with a single coin? The mystery grows darker as we explore the darker side of numismatics, forgeries, scams, and black market deals, where fake 1995 P errors flood the market, preying on the hopeful, while genuine coins are traded in secret, away from prying eyes, their owners paranoid, their locations guarded like state secrets. The 1995 P-Quarter has become a symbol of possibility, a reminder that even in a world of automation and precision, mistakes happen, and those mistakes can change everything. Let's push the stakes higher. Imagine a secret society of collectors, the Order of the Silver Planchet, rumored to exist since the 1990s, dedicated to finding and protecting these rare quarters, their members sworn to secrecy, their vaults hidden in undisclosed locations, guarding coins that could destabilize the numismatic market if released. Is this just a wild theory, or is there truth to the whispers that the $201 million quarter is in their possession, a trophy of their obsession, never to be seen by the public? The emotional resonance of this coin hits like a tidal wave. It's not just about wealth, it's about the human need to seek, to discover, to believe in the impossible, to hold on to hope that something ordinary can be extraordinary. Every collector has a story. The teenager in 2020 who found a 1995 P double die in his grandfather's coin jar, selling it for $50,000 to fund his college education. The Florida retiree who spent 20 years searching for the phantom silver, only to die penniless, his collection scattered, his dream unfulfilled. The anonymous bidder at a 2024 Heritage Auction sale who paid $15 million for a 1995 P off-center strike, only to vanish, leaving experts wondering if they'd found the anomaly. The 1995 P quarter is more than a coin, it's a saga, a mystery that spans decades, a puzzle with pieces scattered across the country, waiting for someone to put them together. The suspense builds with every new discovery. A 2025 coin show in Chicago, where a dealer claims to have seen the anomaly, describing it as a coin that glows like moonlight, with errors so perfect they seem intentional, only to refuse to sell, citing personal reasons, leaving collectors buzzing with questions. Was it real? Was it stolen? Was it the $201 million quarter, or just another myth to keep the hunt alive? The numismatic world thrives on this uncertainty, this tantalizing possibility that the next coin you touch could be the one, could be the key to unlocking a fortune, a legacy, a story that will be told for generations. The 1995 P quarter's value is tied to its errors, yes, but also to its ability to captivate, to make you question, to make you dream, to make you check your change one more time, because what if, you're holding $201 million in your hand right now? The mystery of the 1995 P quarter is a living, breathing thing, growing with every new find, every new story, every new theory, and it's not just about the money. It's about the thrill, the chase, the moment when you realize that the ordinary can be extraordinary, that a single quarter can hold the weight of history, the power of possibility, and the promise of a future you never imagined. So, the next time you get change, look closely, because the 1995 P quarter is out there, waiting, whispering, daring you to find it, to claim it, to become part of its legend, a legend that's worth $201 million and so much more.